adding signed numbers with the same sign. Previously in arithmetic, a positive sign meant addition and a negative sign meant subtraction. However, in algebra, a positive sign also refers to a positive number and a negative sign also refers to a negative number. To avoid confusion, parentheses are often used with a signed number. Examples: positive 4 plus positive 3. This is a number sentence. This is the way it is written. Means positive 4 plus positive 3. And I'm going to highlight this. This is positive and positive, indicating our positive sign here and our positive sign here. Okay, positive 5 plus a negative 6 means positive 5, our positive and our positive, plus a negative 6. Our negative represented here is here, negative 6. Negative 9 plus negative 2 means negative 9 plus a negative, as indicated here, 2. Rule for adding signed numbers with the same sign. To add numbers with the same sign, combine all numbers and use their common sign in the answer. Our first example, we have a positive 3 plus a positive 6. Well, let's indicate that here. We have a positive 3 plus a positive 6. Well, let us look at our number line, and starting at 0, let's indicate our positive 3, 1, 2, 3. And from this point, we are adding a positive 6. So it's a directional number. We know we're moving to the right. So let's move over 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our solution is positive 9. And we can represent that on the number line. Our next example, 2, we have a negative 4 plus a negative 2. So this means with a negative 4, we're combining a negative 4 with a negative 2. So let's do that. Let's first identify our negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice we're going to the left in this case. A negative number is a directional number. And to that, we are combining or adding a negative 2. So negative 4, and let's add a negative 2. This tells us which direction to move. Negative 2 to the left. 1, 2. So we're looking at negative 6. Again, we can rewrite that as a negative 4, and to that we're combining a negative 2. Again, the same signs, 4, 2, 6, negative, negative, negative 6. But then again, we've demonstrated this on the number line. Notice a little discovery here. Positive sign, our solution is a positive sign. A negative sign, our solution is a negative sign. We're working with positive signs, our solution is a positive sign. We're working with a negative sign, our solution is a negative sign. The signs are consistent, they don't change.
The lesson is adding signed numbers with the same sign. Now we demonstrate this on this milling machine because it's a very convenient machine, because it has this digital readout which can be easily read. Now we're going to move minus 2.250 or 2 1/4 inches. And so we have a center drill here on the edge, which is our 0, 0. And now we're going to move minus 2.250. Two inches and 250. Lock the table. Speed it up a little bit. This is a center drill. I'm going to drill a 3/16 hole. Now I want to move from that hole over 1.500. Now we're going to add a negative 1.500. 0, 5, 7, 3, and when we add two negatives, it still remains a negative. Negative 3.750. Okay, now I'm going to move 1.5 over, so it should be 3750. Notice it's still in the minus direction. That's 3 inches. 3,500. 750. 3.750. I'll put back in my center drill. Now drill my 3/16 hole. Now let's go and measure the part with a ruler. As you know your fractions. This is 2 1/4, this is 1 1/2, and this is 3.750, which measures 3 3/4. Now let's take a look with a ruler and measure the part. As you can see, the first hole measured 2.250. This is 1 inch on the ruler, 2 inches, 100 thousandths, 200 thousandths, and right between 2 and 3 is 50. So 2.250. The next hole we moved was 1.5 or 1 1/2. And that's from this center to over here. This is 1 inch. This is right on the 500. So it's 1.500. And the total dimension then is 3.750. 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, 5, 6, 7, 50, or 3 3/4. As you can see, adding negative 2.250 plus negative 1.50 equals negative 3.750. Let's look at another practical problem with adding signed numbers. You are scuba diving, and you're enjoying this beautiful coral reef. Your depth gauge says that you are 16 feet below sea level. If you descend another 35 feet to explore the coral reef, what will your depth gauge read? Let's look at this problem. The depth gauge says you're 16 feet below sea level. So this is sea level, and that would be 0. And so you're minus 16 feet. And you descend now another 35 feet. So that's minus 35. Now don't forget, we're adding these two negative sign numbers. So we're adding them. So 5 plus 6 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 3 is 5. It's 51 feet. And so we retain the same negative sign when you're adding sign numbers. And so the depth gauge will read minus 51 feet.
Please pause the video now and complete the problems in your workbook. When finished, press play, and we'll continue with the next lesson.